According to records, this was a youth correctional facility until 1962, when the estate was overtaken by an obscure Soviet research fund, the Institute for Human Betterment.
Looks deserted.
The place was abandoned after a fire in '89. Then, only a few weeks ago, it was acquired by an anonymous investor using cryptocurrency. It has to be Lucas Gray.
He's here.
Be careful, 47. The breadcrumbs were almost too easy to follow. It could be a trap.
Not a trap. An invitation.
You came home. I knew you would. You've come a long way, 47. And even now, you don't remember.
This place.
This was our prison, where Father trained us, shaped us into killers for Providence. Now, you don't remember. They ripped it out of you, wiped it away, but I do. I remember everything.
You're a terrorist with nothing to lose. You'd say anything.
I know, it's difficult. You never miss your mark or question your function, but we made a pact. You and I. Do this, and we both lose.
There was an incident. That boy, he died.
He lived. Because of you. Don't you remember his name? You know this. Deep down, you know. What was his name?
Subject 6. Your name is Subject 6.
And what is our purpose?
To take them all down.
We were gonna tear it all down. The Institute, Providence, everyone who'd ever hurt us. We failed. The partners grew paranoid, made sure that Ortmeyer's children would never challenge them again. I'm the only one who got away unchanged. The only one left who remembers.
Ortmeyer was Providence.
Everything he did to us, everything he made us do, it all leads back to them.
I'm breaking more rules than I care to count, Mr. Gray. What's your play?
The partners hide behind a cloak of anonymity. Only one man knows their true identities. Your client, the top controller, the one they call the Constant. He is the key.
But he is untraceable. So what am I missing?
A man would come to the Institute. A man with a Providence pin. The first Constant. If we find him, if he's still alive, he's our way in.
You don't know who he is, but 47 does. That's what this reunion is all about.
Show them.
You're just gonna hand it over. Our one bargaining chip.
Olivia.
Fine. 47's memory was erased, irreversibly at the time. But after Ortmeyer's death, his estate was acquired by the Ether Corporation. And they made an antidote.
It's a long shot, I know.
This is not how it works. We don't just join the revolution. ICA is neutral. We don't take sides.
I hate to break it to you, lady, but neutrality is a side. It's the side of the status quo.
People have died. Civilians. You align yourself with terrorists, murderers.
Sometimes even monsters serve a purpose.
Look,
Enough. You have a choice. But I made mine a long time ago. I will finish what I started.
Subject 47. Most gifted of all my boys. So you're the pick of the litter. Tell me about the incident. The subject ran away. He and another boy. The instigator was punished accordingly. As were all the neighbors. My men did what needed to be done. It won't happen again. Bring your house in order, Doctor. You won't like the alternative.
I remember who he is.
gentlemen, let's go over the plan. The first constant is none other than Janus, the legendary Cold War spy master, a KGB senior officer and head of the 6th Column Special Branch at Lubyanka. Janus is a certified genius and expert of counterintelligence. He retired from the KGB in 1988 when he fell out of favor with the Kremlin and defected to the US. Shortly after, the Soviet Union collapsed. Now, it is unclear when Janus stepped down as the constant, but since 2004, he has been a resident of a quiet community in suburban Vermont. Mr. Gray.
Right. So here's the catch. As an elite KGB agent, Janus was trained to withstand interrogation and torture. No amount of pressure will force him to disclose information he doesn't want to. Instead, we will need to search his home for clues. But if Providence learns of our presence, the game is up.
So we frame Janus, make Providence think he was the real Shadow client.
Correct. I will file a false ICA report, claiming to have traced a number of calls from Janus's house to the Institute in Romania. The case will seem clear. Mr. Gray was only a figurehead. Janus was pulling the strings all along. And by eliminating him, we will have neutralized the militia, once and for all.
However, for this subterfuge to work, you'll also need to deal with Janus's security detail. A Providence herald and former Secret Service agent by the name of Nolan Cassidy. Intel describes him as diligent and inquisitive, and we cannot risk that he contradicts our story to his employer.
Seems workable.
I certainly hope so. Everything depends on this next move, 47. You made this our fight. Now let's even the playing field. Whittleton Creek, Vermont. On the surface, a picture-perfect suburban dream. Wide roads, golden maple trees, and verdant lawns. Most residents here are white-collar professionals, ranging from university staff to government employees.
Most, but not all. Janus's unpresuming home is protected by a host of bodyguards, and intel shows that the fragile former constant rarely leaves the property.
Nolan Cassidy, on the other hand, roams the neighborhood streets. A recent arrival, the dutiful Providence Herald is busy making threat assessments and settling in with his security team.
Now remember, this is about more than just revenge. Janus is the key to bring down Providence. So get in there and find us a lead.
Good luck, 47.
47. I've marked your map with several points of interest. We're running this mission with very little upfront intel, but these locations could provide clues to help you obtain the information we need. Good luck.
Drop off the surveillance tapes and Janus at the house. Cassidy was asking for her.
Yeah, headed them to the... Yeah, headed them to the pile. What a stupid system. Record the surveillance in the attic, bring the tapes over to HQ and review them there. The recorder is perfectly capable of playing the tapes as well. Why not just keep them here?
What, and risk the owners of this house suddenly coming home?
Cassidy is certainly keeping a close watch on
It's better to
Janus.
keep the tapes safe, you know?
I'm willing to bet those surveillance tapes hold interesting information.
That damn rickety ladder over there.
Would you like a fly? Or perhaps, if you have time, I could tell you more about him. He's a fascinating man with many bold ideas.
Blake, the chairman of the Homeowners Association? If he's running for office, God help.
Excuse me, sir. Are you a registered voter?
I'm starting to
I'd
feel
love
a
to tell you
little
about a new
uncomfortable
candidate
now.
who might just
Could
change
you
your
please
life.
go
Good on you.
away?
Be sure to vote come election day.
You guys haven't been poking around the frog habitat behind the house, have you?
No.
Oh, okay, great. It's just that, well, I saw one of those security people from Mr. Janus's house, and I'm pretty sure he was burying something back there, and I just figured since you guys seem to be, working together, you might know about it.
Can't say that I...
Someone from Janus' security detail buried something in the frog habitat behind Cassidy's house. What could that possibly be?
If we uncovered Jimmy Hoffa's remains back there someday. Okay, all right, well, I'll just leave you to it.
Okay.
I'm sure I saw something, but... I'm probably just tired.
Janus is apparently engaged in a civil lawsuit with another resident of Whittleton Creek. James Batty, the plaintiff, wants Janus to stop his annual landing of a helicopter near the local creek. The lawsuit also mentions Nolan Cassidy and his unlawful surveillance around town. So Janus takes a helicopter trip once per year. I think we're onto something here, 47. 47? I think it would be beneficial to locate the unlawful surveillance mentioned in the lawsuit. Perhaps Nolan Cassidy's house would be a good place to start.
Mr. Blake has many important initiatives to share.
That is Nolan Cassidy. Former Secret Service agent and current Providence Herald, Cassidy is assigned to protect Janus.
You know the exterminator guy who was working on Batty's house?
Same guy who just did Cassidy's, right?
Yeah. So I let him use the...
Apparently, there is a fumigator in town. He's working on a house belonging to a James Batty, and has previously been working on Cassidy's house. The fumigator has stored some of his chemicals, a strong sedative, in a container in a vacant lot near the creek. Sounds like this could be useful, 47.
Need shipping container to store some chemicals? I asked him if it was poisonous, but he assured me that it was only a sleeping. Get this. He told me that he doesn't kill the bugs. He only sedates them. And he can check What a weirdo. I thought there was but then... He took care of it. He threw it into a shoebox. And he even made a little leash for him so he could take him walking. Yeah, Doc, I know. That guy. This is Nolan Cassidy. I want to speak to the man in charge. That's you? No. Listen. You people that did your work on my house last week, but there's still all your machinery cluttering up my garden. I talked to your man, claims he needs done in my own house. Or he can remove the keep an eye out for that door if you see more people.
Sure will.
Cassidy looks to be a gun enthusiast. The room looks like it's outfitted with a lot of security and alarms. Nicely done, 47. This should keep things nice and quiet inside the house.
Roger that! Hey, you all right? Oh, okay. Coming out of it.
Someone needs to get that straight for me.
Holy shit!
A recording of some sort. The note mentions another house. Perhaps Cassidy is using one of the vacant buildings as base of operations, 47. A letter from Janus to someone called Zoe. It looks like a draft and is full of explicit descriptions of how unhappy Janus is with Zoe and his sister having been appointed chairwomen of the Ark Society. I've heard that name before. This is a good find, 47. Nolan Cassidy is down. Good work, 47. Janus awaits your attention.
Command, I've got someone on the ground. Hold on. Shit!
Fine. About time.
Over. Come on. Is anyone there? It's not funny.
Yes, I understand you tried to reach me earlier. Ah, there you are, my boy. Yes, well, it's about the chairman's seat. I understand Frederick was overlooked despite my recommendations. I would appreciate an explanation of the reasoning behind the decision. Well, it's a long and rather complicated discussion to undertake over the phone. Your request was put in front of the partners and considered, but in the end, it was decided to assign the role to the Washington twins. The partners saw their ideas as a breath of fresh air. A breath of fresh air. They are fortune seekers, robbers of the past, focusing on glory and wealth and outlandish futuristic dealings rather than conservation. They are not representative of what the society was built for. I understand your concern. Rest assured, I will be watching them closely. Very well. It seems we have a lot to discuss when we meet soon. Agreed? Until then.
Excellent. This confirms that Janus and the Constant will meet up soon. I don't think we'll be able to identify the partners today, but this is very useful. The tape doesn't specify where that meeting will take place, however. We need that final bit, 47. So, we know that Janus is expecting to leave Whittleton Creek via helicopter, and that he's going to meet the Constant at some event. I think it's time to look inside Janus's house for more clues. Good work, 47. We now know Janus is meeting with the Constant at an event related to the Ark Society, and we have an approximate date as well. I think that's all we're going to get.
We're close to the finish line. It's time to end this.
Darling, I'm so hungry. Have you seen those beautiful patties back there? And Mr. Wilson is standing behind the grill. Really gorgeous. Hey, you grabbed a pack of smokes that was thrown over the fence from the old guy's yard? No. I'm trying to stop.
So, Janus smokes despite being dependent on an oxygen tank and his bodyguard's insistence on hiding his cigarettes. I wonder what might happen if he combined the two.
You know, I think someone in there is trying to help the old Fajita stop as well by throwing his coffin nails over the fence. Pointless. The only reason for this thing to happen is already so close to taking the money. I say, let the old man smoke. Have you seen that oxygen tank near his window? When you can't breathe with the help of your own lungs, it's a problem. What? Man, someone just threw something.
The first annual gathering of the Ark Society. That rings a bell. If Janus was its founder, perhaps he's still attending these gatherings, 47. This could be valuable information indeed.
Yeah. So, the other day I accidentally asked Janus about that urn in the basement.
Good work, 47. All there is left to do now is wait.
my smokes, I might as well be dead.
Janus. Cold War spine. At last, the actions of the first constant catch up with you. Death feels like an easy way out for a man like Janus. Still,
We are close now, gentlemen. Both targets are dead. All mission objectives are completed. 47, once you've left Whittleton Creek, I will notify Providence of our discovery.
in the meantime, we'll go over the clues you found. Once we've located the constant, we'll make our final move.